Suspo. Welcome back to my channel, Vintiquities. Today I'm going to share a project that I've been working on. I'm doing a swap with Lori Uba. I'm going to leave a link to her YouTube channel down below. She is very talented. She won my challenge, my mini album challenge, and we are working on a Steampunk Mermaid swap, and these are the things that I have made for her, and I'm also including some other little goodies and stuff in her box, but I wanted to share this with you. So we'll just get started. Which one? Okay, we'll start with this. This is a little box that I have been holding on to for longer than I care to admit. 2005, actually. This box came in the mail, and it was one of those AOL, you know, it had a CD and a free membership for AOL. If any of you know what that is, then you're as old as I am. So I finally got around. I just loved the box because it's nice and sturdy. It has a little lid, and it has been perfect for altering, which was why I had kept it in for, you know, in the first place, so that I could alter it, and I just now got around to using it. So I'm pretty excited about how this turned out. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. So I just did a little kind of steampunk octopus based on a chipboard piece that I had, and I created this little cut file for kind of a starfish with a gear in the center, and then I've added a bunch of little sequins and jemmies and gears on here, and then kind of inked the edges of the paper and did a little bit of stenciling on there as well. Just a very simple little box. And then inside the box I've got a package of these little tags. Sorry, I've already closed these up, but hopefully you can see these okay. Just some little pocket tags, and then they have a little Tim Holtz card in it with some stenciling, with some homemade modeling paste, and then another cutout of the starfish, and a little metal clippy, and then some more sequins, and some embossing powders, and some hand-dyed and painted fabric strips and stuff. So there's 3 of those tags, and on the backs I just kind of inked some little steampunk mermaids on the back of that. These tags are based on my Tim Holtz gear tag stencil, and I just cut these out on the Cricut, and used some ice resin enamel powder, and to create that look on that. And then I haven't finished these out because I thought she might want to put something in between or something, so I've just left these as they are and just altered the front of them. And then in here there's a bunch of little like extra cutouts and papers and some, you know, little goodies and stuff in here that she can use for, you know, doing a steampunk mermaid journal, or, you know, however she wants to use those, she can use those. So there's that cute little thing. It's a perfect size for putting little paper embellishments in that you don't want to get bent up. So that's kind of a handy little box. So I think we'll go on to this one next. So this one is a steampunk mermaid with a, you know, some gears and a little crank. So, and then this is where she lives under the sea with a bunch of little seagrass and seaweed and coral and all kinds of stuff. And all of these are chipboard elements that I painted and then used a gold marker on to give some dimension and some details. So the background piece is a piece of scrapbook paper that I ran through an embossing machine, or an embossing folder with the little bubble embossing folder, and then I added some some blue and green paint, acrylic paint over those bubbles with my fingers just to kind of give it some dimension there. And then I've added some rusty distress embossing powders, and then the kind of turquoise embossing powder. At the bottom here there is some real sand and some little shell pieces. There's like a little metal star here for a starfish, and some little gears that I altered as well. Some cheesecloth that I dyed and put in for some little seaweed, and just all kinds of little elements in there, kind of a under the sea looking style. So this is the front of the box, and it has some little gears here. So inside the box, so this is the inside of the box, and there's a little pocket here. And inside this little pocket, there are some cute little embellishments. I found a little vest at the Goodwill outlet, and it had all these really cute little embroidered circles with the sparklies on them, and I thought that would be really cute to add in here. So I just put those on a piece of cardstock with, and then put a little edge there, a gilded edge with a gold marker. And then these are some little altered little tags. This one says, "The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless." And it has a little gear and some like layered up embellishments here, some glass glitter. This is some paper, some watercolor paper that I painted up and added salt to kind of make that mottled effect. And then the next one says, "She is tossed by the waves but does not sink." And then the last one says, "I want to be wild, beautiful, and free, just like the sea." So that's those. Stick those back in there. Okay, that's that. And then here is a little mermaid pen that I picked up for her. And then this is a little baggie that I made up with some scrap velvet that I had on hand. And I put this cute little necklace in here that I made. So this is a little necklace here, and it has like some more of those shells. She can take those out and use them in her projects, or just leave them in the necklace, and then some sand and this cute little thing. I kind of left it blank in case she wants to, you know, alter it or do what she wants to do with that. So that has its own little baggie here. And then the next thing, let's try this thing here. So in here there are some shell buttons, some vintage and antique shell buttons, and then a little gear for her to use. In here there are 3 embellishments, and they kind of look like this. They have these little vintage mermaids here, and then a little star cutout and a gear, and then a little circle cutout in the background, and some of this pretty little glittered mermaidy looking tulle. And there's 3 of those and 3 different mermaid images. And then they have some sticky foam tape on the back, so that they just have, they're basically little stickers. And then I left the stars blank, but there's plenty of room there to add any kind of wording or anything she wants to add for her projects. Here I've made 3 little envelopes, and there's another piece of that watercolor paper that I made, and some ribbon, and these pretty little ladies here, and then teeny tiny little gears, and there's 1 on each one, and then that pretty little sparkly mermaid paper there. And those are just little paper envelopes. And here we have a little matchbook type notepad, and it says "Seashell in the Sea." And then it just has a few little pieces of paper in there, and they all have a little bit of gold on the edges of the paper, so they're kind of gilded. So then that's just a little, it has a little bit of collage work on the spine and just a, you know, cute little notepad. Inside of here are some little stamps and stuff she can use in her artwork. These are some cute little coffee dyed tags that I've added some gears to. Here are some little paper clips, or not paper clips, fabric clips, or, you know, clothespins. That's what I'm trying to say. So some little clothespins that I altered. I just used some fingernail polish to cover the wood, and then I made a little rosette out of paper, and then I took a little wood clock face embellishment and used my gold paint pen on it, and then a little gold clock hand on each one of those. And the edge of the paper also has kind of that gilded look with the gold paint marker around the edge as well. So there's 3 of those, and I love how those turned out. They're just super cute. Love those. So the next thing is this little trio of altered paper clips, and they just have, you know, some just various little threads and fabrics and cute little ribbons and stuff. Very simple, like tassel style paper clips. Here are some altered paper clips, beads basically. These can be added to little dangles, or, you know, book charms, etc. And there's a little bead on there, and a little altered gear with some embossing powders, some little printed paper with kind of like oceans and seas and kind of like map paper, and then some wire around those as well. So those are handy little things. This can be used on the edge of a page or on the spine of a book, or, you know, anything like that. Here we've got some little star brads that I just packaged up for her to use. These would be cute, like little starfish kind of. And here I made some little coffee dyed tags, and these all have just a little bit of the turquoise embossing powder around them, and then the top edge has a kind of a gold gilded around the top edge of that. And then I've included some of that turquoise embossing powder in here so that she can use it on anything she would like. And then these, I really love how these turned out. I'm going to have to make some more for me. So there's just 3 little paper clips, altered paper clips, and then each one has a kind of a mermaid scale charm on it. And then it has a piece of watercolor paper that is folded in half, and a little piece of this ribbon in between. It kind of, that ribbon kind of makes me think of a mermaid tail when it's cut that way. And so then the edges of the watercolor paper are used with the gilding, or the gold paint marker. Then there's a little piece of kind of a netting looking stuff there, and then that sparkly mermaid stuff, and it says seaside, and then a shell, and then these 2 say mermaid. So lots of cuteness there. I love how these turned out. Okay, and in here there are some kind of shell type, very thin shell type things. I think these were part of like a wind chime or something, but I just thought those were cute. Very, very easy to alter or glue some words on or something like that. Here I've got a little altered bottle, and I just use some rust distress embossing powder and some vintage enamel paints for the top, and then altered this gear here and put a little bit of that hand-dyed cheesecloth on there, and then there's some like little sequins and jemmies that I've used on all of the projects. And in this bottle, same thing, just altered that. And then there's some little metal gold stars and some little different kinds of glass beads and pearls and things like that in there. This is a little, this is a little altered bottle with the same thing done on the top, only I've added extra gears, and then some more of that cheesecloth, and this really pretty piece of paper, and I believe this is from the Tim Holtz line. It's abandoned, or I'm not sure what the name of it. I think it's abandoned paper pack for, it's supposed to be for Halloween, but yeah. And so this is a bottle of little, it's like a paper confetti, but it has silver and gold circles. They're kind of vellum paper circles, so good for adding little embellishments to different projects. So that was kind of fun. Love the color on that. And then here is a little clip that I made, and on one side it says mermaid with a little gear on the outside, and on the other side there is a map piece, and that's just a little clip-on charm, a little piece of watercolor paper, and then these two little note cards that I altered for journaling on. So it's just a stamp there, and then I added some gold accents with a paint pen, and then here's another like seaweed stamp, and then this is a little wax seal with a rose on it that I added to both of those, and then I did some paper collage on the ends and sewed them on. So a couple of those, and then just clip this back on here. And then the last thing in the box is this little Tim Holtz Ideology binding clip thing here, so she can make a little booklet or something if she wants to. So lots of goodies in here for her to play with and create with and do lots of fun stuff with. So hopefully she will enjoy this box. I hope so. I had a lot of fun working on it. Stick this stuff all back in here. Stick that in there. Close that back up. And then I'll show you this piece here. Oh, here, I'll show you this. I put a little bit of all of the materials that I used in the box in here, just so she'll have some extra pieces that she can play with and do some stuff with. And then this one is probably my favorite of all of them. I love how this one turned out. The paper, I did the same thing I did on the big box. I just used that circle embossing folder, and then, you know, did some painting and some different colors of embossing powders and some stitching around the front here. So lots of like lovely kind of bottom of the sea texture to me anyway. There's a little bit of glossy paints there, and then the cute little mermaid, and then I just used the gold emboss, or the gold paint pen, to draw on the designs and stuff, and then altered one of those wooden clock faces with some different embossing powders, some sequins and some gemmies, some more of the fabric seaweed just sewn on, and then some sand and shells and all kinds of cute little things on there. And this was actually an eyeglass, like a cardboard case for a pair of fancy sunglasses, I think. And it came with this little drawer, so I just went ahead and altered it. And this is some little dangles there that I kind of beaded and put on. And then this is a little wooden keyhole looking thing, and this is a little magnetic clasp because the drawer would just slide out if you bent it, so I had to make something to keep it in there. So that little clasp opens up, and then you open the drawer, and inside the drawer is a dingle hopper. If you are familiar with The Little Mermaid, you'll know what a dingle hopper is. This is some little velvet fabric that I have had in my stash for a long time, and it was just big enough to make this one little pouch here, and then I just added some of those little remnant pieces there. And this is the dingle hopper. So this is a little book charm that she can use, and it has a little fork on it. If you, like I said, if you're familiar with The Little Mermaid, you'll know what a dingle hopper. The Little Mermaid finds a fork at the bottom of the ocean, and she goes and asks the seagull, and the seagull tells her that people use it to brush their hair. So, yeah, so that's what a dingle hopper is. So I've had this little fork in my stash for a long time as well, and I'm so happy to get to use it finally. It has all these really pretty little designs on it and stuff. So I used some of that vintage enamel paints to kind of add some color and some depth to this fork, and a little bit of the rusty embossing powder to kind of give it some age on the edges. And then this is just something I threw together with some beads and some jump rings. And there's a little gear on there and a bunch of little shell beads and glass beads and like lots of little cute things that she can use. And it sounds cool. Kind of like a wind chime. So that was a really fun to make, and I hope she really likes that as well. So, when I first contacted her to see if she wanted to do a swap, I was going to see if she wanted to do a Halloween swap, because I am dying to be making some Halloween stuff. But we're in a group on Facebook called the Uncommon Guild. We do like junk journals and stuff with like kind of off-brand themes, like, you know, haunted houses and scary stuff and witchy things and fun stuff. But she said that she didn't have much Halloween stuff, and in the Uncommon Guild, we've been talking about getting ready for October Daily, and she was worried about not having what she needed because she doesn't have very much Halloween stuff. So I'm sending her some Halloween goodies as well, so that she'll have a few things to choose from to get started on. But anyway, making this set of stuff took me a while because I don't work fast. It takes me a long time to decide what I want to do. So but anyway, I hope she likes it, and thank you so much for watching, you guys, and being patient with me. I've been doing a lot of work with my other YouTube channel, Resin Belle. I am about to release a new line of resin craft molds, so that's going to be pretty exciting. So I've been working on that and getting a business started, but so I was excited to get back to doing a little bit of paper crafts because it kind of breaks up the monotony. So, and I'm also going to be doing a bunch of new Halloween things, so that's going to be fun. There's one more thing I want to show you that I'm adding into her box. I have this antique book cover that looks kind of like this. It's Pearls from Many Seas, and I scanned it and printed that off so that she can use that however she wants to. I thought that kind of went well with the Steampunk Mermaid theme. And then these are the end papers that have a bunch of waves and stuff. I thought those were pretty cool, so I scanned those too. But anyway, so hopefully she likes this, and thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye!